The North East boasts the best fans in British football, and who can argue with that today? Apparently, they've had rain here in Newcastle for the last 17 days, but those marvellous supporters are out in force for the visit of the Canon League champions Liverpool. And despite appalling conditions, the club expect at least a crowd of 28,000. Hello, good afternoon to you all and welcome to St James's Park. I don't know about when the boot comes in, but I reckon over the last couple of days up here we've had enough rain to float the whole of Tyneside. The good news though, the match goes ahead. Referee David Hutchinson travelled overnight from his home in Harrogate. He's had a couple of looks at the pitch. He says it is okay, but there's certainly going to be an element of what he calls splash ball about it. Both teams are already out on the pitch, and our team inside here, delighted to see him again, an old favourite of ITV, Mike Shannon, sitting alongside Jimmy Greaves. Mike, I think you've got a point to make about the two Newcastle strikers, first of all, Beardsley and Waddle. Yeah, well, I think they're probably the most exciting forward players playing in our football today, and I think that if they can get good service, I'm looking forward to seeing Chris Waddle and Peter Beardsley, because they're exciting, after all. Jimmy Greaves, complete with brand new programme holder, so there'll be no crumpled programmes this afternoon. No. Jimmy, you've got the old galoshes on and had a look at the pitch. Is it as bad as we all think?
Actually, the pitch is in remarkably good nick, Jim, when you think that there has been 17 days of rain here. There is a bit of surface water about, but certainly down the sides of the pitch between the corner flags and the 6-yard box, it's going to play pretty well. It's obviously going to be very slippery and greasy on top, and I think that makes for good forward play.
Mike, who is this going to suit, if anybody, these conditions? Well, I think Liverpool are a very professional outfit. They're going to set themselves out. And I think it'll take 10 minutes for the game to settle down. I mean, it looks as if they're kicking about out there at the moment, the ball's zipping. And early on, it's going to be a bit hectic and a bit quick. But I think that the longer the game goes, I think Liverpool are going to be pretty solid and just play the normal way. OK, thanks very much, Mike. Thank you, Jimmy. Well, a smashing atmosphere building up here, a great atmosphere out in the ground. We're going to go out there now to join your commentary team for this afternoon's live big match. That is Ian St John sitting alongside Brian Moore.
Thank you, Jim. Let's make our first job a check on the two teams. And first is the Newcastle side with Kevin Carr in goal. In the back four, there's a return for Glenn Roeder, formerly of Orient and Queen's Park Rangers, after injury. He's missed the last 4 games, the number 6. In the midfield, it'll be interesting to see Kenny Wharton playing just behind the front two. And as Mike Shannon's just said, what about those two front players, Chris Waddle and Peter Beardsley, both past fit today after injuries, to the vast relief of this crowd here at St James's Park. Liverpool, Bruce Grobbelaar in goal, of course, and a back four that's certainly familiar and formidable enough. And when we come to the midfield, well, Steve Nicol slots in there now. Ronnie Whelan is out and injured, and they've also got formidable names up front, of course, Kenny Dalglish and Ian Rush. Chris Waddle, one of the great names now, making a tremendous reputation on the North East. And in fact, he's not trained at all this week because of a groin injury, and says, well, at least I'm going to give it a start and give it everything I've got. Peter Beardsley, who got an elbow in the face playing against Chelsea last week, had delayed concussion, didn't start training until Thursday, but he says he's delighted to be out there for what is really an important game for Newcastle. If they win it, they go into the top 6. David Hutchinson, the referee from Harrogate in Yorkshire. A quick word from Ian St John. Ian, your thoughts about this one?
Well, I agree with what the lads were saying up in the box, Brian. I think it will be a very good game. The pitch, I think, will suit that type of football. We'll get a lot of excitement. I should think a lot of goal-mouth scrambles with defenders falling all over the place and the ball skidding around. So I'm looking forward really to a good open game.
With, as we already said, a tremendous atmosphere. It's a privilege to be up here in the North East, where the game means so much to them. A revised crowd of just over 28,000, we've been told, in the most dreadful conditions. And that is